The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Hello, and welcome to Valley by Night. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Vampire, 5th edition. Brought to you, of course, on Dire Bear, and from over at the Nerd Turtle Network. I'm your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Sarah playing Jolene, Decca playing Blackjack, Rap playing Maeve, Eric playing Samuel, and Duba playing Alexander. Last week, I believe we had a little adventure out of town. They went down to scenic and historic Mooresville, a town with literally like 8 streets.
There's something scenic or historic about that town.
No, it's actually quite historic.
I mean,
Y'all were just there at night where you couldn't see it all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Ran into a few people in a mountain lion. Let's see. Really, you didn't find out much about him, though. They mostly just shot Alexander multiple times with guns. And you know they had the town warded in some fashion, or perhaps just the roads in, you're not certain, that alerted them as soon as you crossed their threshold, I guess we call it. Unlike a lot of wards, it didn't do any kind of damage or anything to you. It was apparently some kind of alarm. Like I said, there was an exchange of some gunfire. I believe Maeve rustled a mountain lion to the ground.
yeah.
And then Samuel went into diplomacy mode.
Yep.
Cut a deal with the guy that seemed to be the leader of the little group.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, to exchange notes on magic or some such?
Essentially. Basically it's not exchange notes, is to get his knowledge of magic, of his version of magic, in exchange for his sister's protection in our territory.
I believe he said it was her. I believe he said it was a cousin.
Yeah, cousin.
No, kind of distant cousin, but only family.
His family member.
Yeah. Man, at the rate you're going, you're gonna just have this big study group. You, this mage from Mooresville, the Abla from the Banu Hakim.
It is his passion, his ambition, so to speak, to further his studies into magic. So he is fulfilling it.
This is true. And I believe you had gotten a message just shortly before you were going to turn in for the day.
From Lady Deschler, if I remember correctly.
I believe Nora wanted to, it was not an emergency or anything, but she'd like to speak to you at your convenience.
Yeah.
Which, receiving that sort of message this late in the night obviously means, means the next night or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to keep a Primogen member waiting,
What time of night did we get that message? Did he get that message?
I want to say you got it kind of up in the morning. 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, he's
like I said, you had gotten back to the Haven and we're getting ready to turn in.
He is absolutely going to bed for that.
All right. And Alexander, had you healed yourself up?
Yes, I took the time to heal myself completely, though I did incur 2 more counts of hunger, but luckily, Blackjack was there to help him in regards of not being so hungry and to get the healing done.
That's right. You basically you spent a couple of hours doing just hunting.
Force fed him cow.
Yeah, Blackjack essentially force fed him cow, but at least he was safe.
Mm-hmm.
That poor Jones Valley Farm ain't gonna know what's happening to their cows.
They're so emaciated. I don't get it.
Really anemic.
I say that. There's only 3 of you feeding on them, and it's a decent sized herd.
2 of them.
Have you not? Oh, that's right. You haven't gone out there and
Julian
hunted
has
the
not
cows
gone there
yet.
yet.
Yeah, Jillian hasn't hit there yet.
That's right. She murderized a deer not too long ago, though.
She's helping people that drive a little bit in her own way.
Uh-huh.
Just lowering the deer population.
Or as many times as you fail that role, you're startling the deer and they're running out in front of people.
6 of one, after another.
I can't remember if it was February of 2019 or February of 2018 that I had a deer run out in front of my car over in that area. Clearly it was Joe's
What
fault.
a coincidence.
I'll take the blame. Retroactively.
Mm-hmm.
What year did Deadpool come out?
Uh, 2016? Deadpool 2 was 2018.
Okay. So it would be
We'll go
2017 that this happened, so not Jolene's fault. Alright, carrying on. I know I was in one car accident driving to go watch that movie, and then just shy of a year later, the deer runs out in front of me and trashes my new car. It was tragic. Alright, so the sun sets. It is now Saturday. Everybody's waking up. Give me your rouse checks.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, Jolene gets hungry.
I'm
Samuel
hungry.
does not.
I'm fine.
And Alexander does not. And Maeve does not.
What?
Blackjack does. That's fine.
Is anybody hungry enough they want to spend an hour or 2 hunting?
I'm
Nah.
only at 2.
Just-
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tend to the farm, get everything ready for spring. In like the 3rd of February.
It is an unusually warm February. The temperatures have been like in the 70s.
All the more reason to get it ready. I'm gonna have the prettiest potatoes before you know it.
Do what now?
I'm gonna have the prettiest potatoes before you know it.
So what does Blackjack do with his potatoes?
Sells them, what?
Does he have somebody come by and get them during the day?
Yeah, I have enough resources that I could probably say that I had someone send them off.
Okay.
Not like a ghoul or anything, just like someone he knew in life.
Or even just like drop some off somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just imagining him at the farmer's market, the big wide brimmed hat and lots of suntan lotion.
Really dark glasses.
Not quite at that bit of humanity yet. We'll see.
I don't know. You almost lost some just a few sessions
Uh-huh.
back.
Uh-huh.
All right. So sun sets. Y'all get up. Jolene, what is your plans for the day or for the night?
I mean, if she can pick up a shift, she'll pick up a shift. Otherwise, she'll probably go help Bree at the shop.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Bree Bree.
Bree!
Now, I think we said last time that the shop was not actually open yet.
Nah, I'm still getting stock and unpacking things, and
Though Bree was working pretty much regular shifts getting it ready. So yeah, you were able to pick up a shift at the Waffle House. When you get there, one of your buddies. Oh, who was the named waitress I had earlier?
I don't think we named her, the older lady.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were gonna name her, but you never gave me a name.
Linda. Her name is Linda. Overby. Waitress Jolene's buddy. She tells you she saw your Chinese buddy in here earlier.
Really? How's he doing?
Still dressed too nice to be in here, but
Yeah. Yeah, probably just in town on some business. I mean, see him again. Tell him I said hi.
will do. Blackjack, you said you were just going to be puttering around the farm.
More or less. After he makes sure everything's set up, he'll probably do his usual, like just patrol. He's killed a werewolf, but he doesn't want to have to do it again.
Well,
Plus,
he's
you
got
know-
multiple stuff to look out for. Yeah, there's werewolves prowling
He's
around.
got werewolves, Brat Pack,
Hippies.
some random human. Yeah. I would also like do like a nice little patrol around for also for the hippie vamp.
All right. Hang on just a second. I realized I completely forgot to bring up the chat. Not that our viewers are always all that chatty, but sometimes they are.
Get a lot of them, and we appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely.
We appreciate you.
It's just hit or miss, how talkative they are.
Yeah, that's fine. You are certainly welcome to do as you please while you're here.
Oh, yeah. It looks like we got 4 or 5 folks already.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, he's gonna just like get in his old truck.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm on the moonlight.
Truck's so old, it probably only has AM radio.
Oh, my grandpa's truck had FM. It was like one of the first ones where first was used FM, but it was there.
Maeve,
Yes.
what are you doing in the early part of the evening?
Probably taking a walk around where she lives, at least 2 blocks out, for getting ready to go to work for the night.
Okay. Duba, what is Alexander's early evening taken up with? Or taken up by?
Probably the usual, going around, checking to see if there's any chatter and whatnot, anything interesting going on in the dear, beautiful city of Huntsville. And if nothing is really too important, he will head down to the shop and kind of help out in the back rooms.
Let's see. It appears to have been a slow news day. You still find one article about all the weird dog howling the other night. And some of the goings on. Because you had a couple of places a couple of fires, a couple of places kind of, some violence obviously took place. But the kind don't seem to have any idea what actually went on.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, they mention a cattle mutilation out in the county.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a good ways outside of Huntsville, but it's like the far side of the county. It just catches your eye because there's really nothing else going on.
So we're both
He'll
like,
put a
nope,
pin in
not
that.
us.
Hey, thinking about that, he's like, I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Woo.
Yeah, and I'll think about that later. and then he'll.
Alexander doesn't want to say it was aliens, but
It's aliens. But then he'll. Poor me, sir. He'll take the back door into the sewers and over to the oh so lovely shop. Pop up and head on inside and
Did we
probably
name it?
start.
Did we name it?
I don't remember.
I was going to say that is a good question. Did we actually name the shop?
I
Not
thought we
yet.
did.
Let's see here. If y'all did, I don't think I wrote it
Don't mind
down.
me shoveling down macaroni. I'm hungry.
You're fine. I mean, our rice is done. There's been part of me that's just been like, oh, rice is ready. Yeah, I can at least have a bowl of this.
Oh, and then you'll eat more rice, and now I'll be like, where's my rice for my lasagna?
No, well, I've got Bree's name written down,
It's a strange sentence.
but nothing about the shop's name. So
Might not have named it.
I think we were gonna name it, and we just never got around to it in like the Discord chat.
unimportant at the moment.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what it was.
But anyway, they'll essentially like pop up and then just take the back door, possibly work on making a little security system,
Okay.
if anything.
So basically,
Or
you're
at
gonna
least
work
a
around
monitoring
there, work at
system.
getting the shop ready. And
Yeah,
security.
essentially just helping get the shop ready,
Okay.
security and all that fun stuff.
Well, you
Uh,
slip in the back
making
door.
sure
You're
to-
looking around. Bree rounds the corner into the back room, and he gives a little shout and almost drops the stuff she's carrying when she sees you.
oh, sorry.
I know it's your shop and all, but please, come on, you can knock or something. Or announce yourself when you walk in.
Right, I'll work on that. Don't worry.
And then she kind of quickly excuses herself back up to the front. She doesn't seem to be getting any more at ease around you.
I would highly doubt it. When she starts getting used to walking around essentially a ratman, I say she's either too comfortable or she's just seen too much.
Well, she's been around a little while now, so. But for her first several years, she lived over. Where did I say? I believe she was from Moulton. Not a big kindred presence over there.
Yeah, just to help piddle in the shop, mainly in the back rooms.
Okay. You probably already had stuff ordered for a security system, and now you're just installing it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't want the mortals running around doing stuff.
They're gonna be nosy, and an antique shop, plenty of them's gonna try and be a little too nosy.
Samuel,
Yes.
what do you do?
What have I done? Sorry. Yeah.
Go on.
Well, first thing he's going to do is he's going to go to the chantry. After she's awake. Actually, no. First thing he's going to do is he's going to do some experiments on that werewolf blood. See if he can't divine any secrets from it.
It's blood. It's tasty.
Yes.
It tastes particularly potent.
Okay. That's about all he gets.
Maybe a little gamey.
Yeah.
If you do a thorough enough, like, genetic analysis, you'll have weird stuff come up that, it's obviously not quite human. I'm not sure, I think we'd established you've got a pretty good lab.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd have the stuff to do, like, genetic sequencing and stuff, though.
CSI Huntsville.
He doesn't have that stuff, though, but he is experimenting to see if he can get any thaumaturgical use out of werewolf blood.
There's probably some rituals that require it specifically. It would certainly be helpful if you were trying to ward something against wolves. And given that he was in the middle of a fight when he died, it's probably what's it called?
Acute, intense.
Yeah, intense or acute at least towards whichever one of the like emotional states or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on what they're called because they give them such weird names, but
yeah. I know the two that I use the most, but that's it.
Alright, I know that doesn't actually say choleric, but that's what I'm saying. CHOLERIC.
Choleric?
Choleric, thank you. Emotions and conditions. Angry, violent, bullying, passionate, envious.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Element fire. Hormone adrenaline.
Yep.
Now, trying to store it long, no. If you fed on it right now, it's like it's been a day, it's probably still pretty potent.
Mm-hmm.
But, that humor it's not going to store well.
Yeah.
Now you can do some things to preserve the blood, so it would still be useful for other rituals or just for general feeding.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to give you anybody. It's not going to give anybody any kind of bump after it's been stored for a little while.
Well, he did take several vials.
And you've still got the body in refrigeration, I believe.
Yeah, he does actually.
That's gotta be smelling amazing. Even in refrigeration.
I don't know. Refrigerated, it should be fine. You can refrigerate meat you can put meat in your refrigerator for a week.
There's a freezer, however, we're in business.
My meat typically doesn't have all the innards inside of it still.
You make a valid point there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He can't smell it. Everyone's like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, he will probably the stuff that was fresh when it was taken. So first thing he's gonna do, he's gonna consume the Disacrata that's still inside him, and get an XP from that. And then he's gonna drink one vial of the werewolf blood, see what happens.
Now, are the vials like just a little bitty test tube type things, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shots.
Everybody.
That probably would not be enough to count as one full blood point, or it's not going to be enough to reduce your hunger any.
Okay.
But you can tell that it's more potent than the blood of a kind.
Right. Okay, so
And it kind of leaves
Down
you
the
craving.
second.
It kind of leaves you craving some more. I'm sorry. What was it you were saying? I think I interrupted you.
Yeah, I was about to say he'll down the second one then, because he's doing this for research.
For science.
Yeah. It's
If you drink
werewolf
2 vials
blood.
worth, your hunger goes down by 1.
Okay. He did drink 2 vials.
Which generally it would take more blood than that. You're assuming it's because of the potency.
Okay. And he will take the last one. And he will use it to put a ward on the front and back door of the house against lupines.
Okay.
Which
So he
I
is-
don't have to roll for.
Really?
Yep.
Just have to take the time to do it.
I just have to take the time to do it. I only make the ritual roll when whatever would trigger them would come up against it.
Okay.
If
I guess that makes
understood
more sense than having you
correctly.
roll it now and then having to keep up with what you rolled.
Yeah.
Potentially, indefinitely, potentially.
See, let me double check. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that's how that worked. Is I don't have to make the roll until whatever comes against it impacts it. Do not make the ritual roll until the first time the trespasser touches the ward, triggering its effect.
Okay.
So yeah, so he will use that blood to ward his front and back door with a ward against lupines.
Okay.
Then once that's done, he'll go and he will siphon out the rest of the blood from the body to store for general purpose use. Probably has definitely lost its humor by now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You figure, as a doctor, you just barely got it out before it really started to separate.
Yeah. So he's going to pull it out, pull all the blood out anyway, and store it carefully
Okay.
where he keeps his other blood samples for experimentation.
You get
And
quite a
then-
bit. It's not
Yeah.
as much blood as would be in a human body because the head was removed, so you've had some
Yeah.
leakage.
Mm-hmm. Then he will... What will he do?
You had mentioned going to the chantry earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide what he'd do with the body now that he has what he wants out of it. Something to think on later. But he will probably do like a embalming just to keep the decomposition to a minimum
Okay.
until he figures out what he wants to do with the actual body. And then store it again, and then he will go to the chantry after he's cleaned up.
I'm just picturing years from now, Samuel's going through his basement, and there it is in a big pickle jar, this pickled werewolf. Oh, I forgot I'd put that back here.
Yeah.
Blackjack, can you get that for me?
I'd been living in my house 8 years and then found some homemade pickles somebody had stashed in the back of one of my cupboards.
Oh God.
That's woof.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seals had popped on it, so the liquid had drained down a little bit. The pickles under the liquid look fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were
Did you
perfectly
have
safe.
Fun?
I'll say they looked fine, you say.
Look
you
at as
try
far as I
'em?
got. Everything else just went into the trash.
Ah,
Coward.
If I had discovered them the year I moved in, I would have feasted.
Yeah.
But I can't even be really sure it was the people that lived here before me that put them there. It could have been further back than that.
oof.
Who knows?
Because the folks before me weren't here all that long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. All right, so you are storing the body.
Yes. See, then he's gonna clean up and then go see Alejandro.
Okay. So as you're driving to the Chantry, we will cut back to Jolene briefly. I think I'll use that list of names up. So let's see, it's a Saturday. So y'all are doing a decent enough business.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a good name? I look at the list of names, I get analysis paralysis. I can't decide. A woman walks in. You recognize her. She's one of the thin bloods in town. You can't place her name. You've just seen her around.
Yeah.
You know she's one of them that they've effectively moved into the domain temporarily.
Yeah. She's crashed on her couch at least once.
Actually, she's with a couple that have a camper, so they've just kind of been parked on your street or parked in your driveway, or
Yeah.
But she comes in, she kind of looks around. She makes eye contact with you, and then sits down at a booth and starts looking through the menu.
She'll make sure to wander over and be like, "What can I get you, hon?" Kind of give her the look like, "What you need? Why are you here?"
In a normal voice that carries, she rattles off, an order. Crap, I completely blanked on your main thin blood contact's name. Eddie?
Eddie.
Eddie. And then, like I said, she, in a normal speaking voice, she fills out her order. And then quieter, she's like, Eddie wanted me to let you know we've got somebody missing. Let's see. Ann Block. She's like, I didn't know her, or I don't know her all that well personally. He's been by our place. Nothing's messed up. And you kind of recognize that name.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the last time he spoke to her was the night after the big werewolf, or the big lupine, hullabaloo. And she was staying with some friends of hers, mortal friends, but she's a day drinker.
Anyone contacted those friends?
Eddie has called him and asked, but according to them, she went back home the next day. He's supposed to be taking somebody by tonight to make sure they're telling the truth.
Yeah. She didn't have anyone any more out for it than the rest of us.
No, she was pretty new. She's from down in Decatur, but stuff's so chaotic down there that she got out as soon as she could.
How long has she been up here?
Oh, probably 5 months now.
keep an ear out, definitely, and I'll put some feelers out to my coterie.
Okay, well, he's letting everybody know because with everything going on, we just want to keep a close eye
Yeah,
on
yeah,
everybody.
absolutely. I mean, gotta stick together. If I hear anything, I'll get in touch with Eddie.
Okay.
Kind of gives her a nod and be like, I'll be right back with your order, sweetie.
Okay. And she starts going through a little selection of syrups.
Cat counter raised by 1.
Yeah, he's like, was screaming behind me.
Pay attention to
What the
me.
Love me!
Well, it seems like my little two ran off while Scully's asleep on the couch. He is somewhere, I don't know.
Waiting for that danger noodle to return. Then I'll have my own pet.
Define
You
danger
don't-
It's
noodle
gonna
for
hold
me.
it like. I'll post a picture in Discord here in a sec.
Is it a danger like thin spaghetti noodle or danger fettuccine?
We'll see. I'll let you all decide.
That doesn't sound good.
As Blackjack is patrolling,
Yes.
no sign of the hippie, no sign of the Brat Pack. But as you're swinging by the Valley Bend Shopping Center, which is as far as north to south, kind of dead center of your domain.
Is that the one where we went and saw that one guy who could shapeshift?
Yes, the Target's there,
Okay.
the movie theater's back
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the big shopping area. I mean, there's lots of little shopping centers, but it's kind of the big one in your domain. But as you're driving by there, you slow down at a red light, and you hear a whistle.
Does it sound like it's antagonistic, like someone from the Brat Pack?
It just sounds like just a whistle.
Okay. I turn around to the source
Well,
of the sound.
you glance over to the side, across the road. You see a woman with her thumb out.
Does she look familiar?
Oh yeah, you know who she is. You didn't know she was in town, but you know who she is.
Ah. Okay. Then I'll turn in immediately. Okay.
And Lynn walks up to the driver's side door.
Boy. Can I help you?
Well, that's not very friendly. Here I am. Haven't been in town in a while. Just come by to see you.
I know you show up whenever you feel like it, but it's just it's unlike you. It's been a while since the last time you've been here.
What do you mean it's unlikely?
I mean, after like several months, I just assume you're going to stop, and then you keep not doing it right as I think you're going to stop.
Several months. It's been about a year.
Way to prove my point, Lean.
You're not a little kid. I don't have to follow you around, take care of you anymore. But that doesn't mean I don't want to pop in and say hi, see how you doing.
Well, hello, I'm doing just fine. I've just recovered from a 2-man and a werewolf.
She's like, kinky.
Oh man, I no, Jeremy, don't say that. Well, it's a lot less fun than that, and it got me pretty good. But I've since, as I said, recovered. He will motion to his passenger side, which is like his only seat. Come on in if you'd like.
And she circles around and climbs in.
We'll start driving for a little bit.
Yeah, I heard there was a big lupine attack a few nights ago. I guess you were in the thick of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Did they get all the way down
Lupin
here? I thought they
activity.
were hitting the north part of town.
They got. Well, I mean, I went with my coterie to investigate.
Isn't that something the sheriff and the prince should have been handling?
You know, we've kind of gotten ourselves in the thick of it for one reason or another, and I don't mind, helping out every now and again, protect the farmland.
Oh yeah, you and your flipping farm.
Yeah, me and my flipping farm.
A vampire plotting, planting potatoes. Oh. She reaches over and actually kind of grabs you. Where did I go wrong?
This is how I was when you met me.
I thought you'd grow out of it. And you will eventually. You can't become that attached to land. You're not a Zamitzi.
What?
Zamitzi. She goes, the Transylvania ones that are so focused on their property.
I suppose.
They do the stuff with flesh, whatever they call it.
Oh, I met someone like that. We beat his
Here in
ass,
town?
too. I mean, he did the flesh thing that you said, apparently, but I don't know. Yeah, he's doing community service, I guess is the way I would say that.
Huh. That sounds like a story.
Yeah, it is, and Blackjack will go over the story. Give like the cliff notes that he from his perspective, which isn't great. It's like, well, we was following somebody, and it was a trail of murders that were obviously kindred inflicted, and we had to, and they were happening in our within our domain, so we had to. I mean, we had to do something about it. That was our domain.
Yeah, you gotta protect your territory.
Yeah. So we did, and it turned out to be some. I mean, he wasn't like the strongest sort of submissive, whatever you call it. Um, they because I think all he could really do was just real quick. But as far as I know, he's a what do they call him? The Thin Bloods?
No,
Caitiff.
Caitiff.
Caitiff. That's the one.
Oh, he was clanless. Okay.
Yeah. He just happened to have a Shemitzi ability.
Oh, that's weird. You rarely hear that. But not that I know a whole lot about the caitiff.
I know my my arm and leg is shaking, but like Blackjack is also so. He's like as he's driving with his free leg, he's doing like the ADHD like thingy.
Does his sire make him nervous?
Mm. So I gotta ask. I mean, I'm happy to see you, of course, Lynn. But what brings you back this way?
Just come by check on you. I was in the general area, this part of the state.
Okay.
Things are hectic down in Birmingham. They got
What's
some
going on over
werewolves.
there?
They've got some lupine troubles too. And there's still a Silla to a Sabat down there that are giving old Prince Alexander trouble.
Sabat? I thought they were all, not here anymore.
Most of them, but there's some holdouts there. There's still some in Atlanta.
Why?
I don't know. Guess they didn't want to give up their city completely.
That's a little weird. If you're gonna, doesn't make sense from a combat perspective. I mean, I guess they want something to come back to, but even then, skeleton crews don't do nothing.
Yeah, trying to hold their city. While the bulk of their forces are gone, fighting their weird whatever they're doing over in the east.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Well, I'm happy to see you, of course. Have you gone and presented yourself?
Nah, not yet. I just got in tonight though.
Ah, well, you wanna make a night of it? We can go do that if you'd like.
Yeah, all right. I guess if you know where the seneschal is.
I have a good enough idea. We'll drive over to the hills.
Uh, you pull up to the gate. In your beat up old truck. Uh, even or odd?
I'll say even.
Okay. It's the guy that's there a lot.
Yeah. The guy who's seen me all the time when I'm getting there for Samuel.
Yep. He leans out. Oh, sees it's you. Doesn't even ask. Doesn't call. Just buzzes you through.
Much obliged. Drives through with his beat up old truck.
I assume you're heading to the country club.
Yes.
Okay.
I must admit I'm not much for the country club types, but I mean, as long as we're making things right, that's making sure everything's on the up and up. At least for now.
You walk up to the door. The usual doorman, one of the usual doormen are there, and he kind of gives you the up and down because I assume you're just in your overalls. You may be muted. I can hear you.
I didn't hear you.
I said I saw you talk, but I couldn't hear you, so I thought you might be muted.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
None
might
of you
be
can hear me?
on Discord. You're audible over the stream.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
I would just try logging in out of Discord.
Yeah, might do that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very strange.
Sorry about that.
Like I could see your lips moving, but like nothing was coming out. I was like, "Wait, am I losing audio?" And all of a sudden, I heard him saying, "I was like, okay, no, I haven't lost my mind yet."
Give it
I'm
time.
just like making sure my headset was all the way up. Like I can't hear him.
I did too. I started adjusting dials. I'm like, wait, what?
So anyway, as I
Sorry.
was saying, as you walk up, one of the doormen gives you the up and down since you're in your overall. Oh, hello, Mr. Blackjack.
Howdy.
Is the doctor joining you tonight?
No, I have a guest with me, and like arm in arm with my sire. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We'll just be in for a moment, and we'll be on our way. Don't worry, we won't make a mess of nothing.
Oh, of course not, sir. Of course not. He opens the door for you.
Here we go.
And you step in, and even as oblivious as Blackjack might be to such things, it's clear right away that you are underdressed.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the fancier Elysiums.
Yes.
But if you're looking for the Seneschal, this is the one you're most likely to find him in.
And that's what I'm looking for.
As you walk in, you see. She had such a nice name. What was it? Marcy.
Mm-hmm.
Who you know is kind of in charge of. She's the keeper of Elysium, is kind of her title.
Right.
She's also known as the Harpy. That's less of an official title. And she is giving you kind of the stink eye.
Is your boss around?
beg your pardon?
Oh, you know, the seneschal.
The seneschal is not in any way my boss.
Fair enough.
He can only give orders in that he can repeat the prince's.
Much as anyone else can here.
But yes, Seneschal Tucker is in the back room.
I just have someone I'd like to present to the prince and the seneschal. That's all. And that's it for today. I'll be out of your hair before you even know it.
Mm-hmm. He's in a meeting with someone. They've been back there a little while. It probably won't be too long.
All right. Much appreciated, Master.
And she just staring daggers at you as you walk on.
I'll bring Lynn in close. I'll be like, sometimes you gotta keep him on the toes.
You're never gonna get anywhere in stuck-up society like that. Good
I
boy.
want to get anywhere and stuck up to.
Don't forget, she's a Bruja too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we'll wait up. We'll wait up for their meeting to finish up.
and somebody comes by and asks you if you need a drink.
I think I'm good for now. Thank you.
Lynn takes one.
Sure. The wine's pretty good.
Really?
Just
You
good
drank
enough.
the wine here?
I've had a couple bottles here and there. It's.
Huh.
I have to come here often because of the nature of my coterie and the activities we have here.
Yeah, your domain is pretty close to a bunch of the movers and shakers.
Unfortunately, much as I don't like to, I have to adapt.
I'm just a little surprised that you would drink anything from here. I mean, they don't make these things with cow blood.
I've had other forms of sustenance besides cow.
Probably because you didn't think about it. But 10, 15 minutes later, the seneschal comes out.
I'll flag them down.
When he comes out, he's walking directly toward you. Someone clearly told you that he was out
Yeah.
here.
Good evening.
Again, you get kind of the hello, Blackjack. Because every other time you've been here, you've dressed more or less appropriately.
Yeah. I apologize. I just got back from the farm. I didn't have time to change into nothing, but I wanted to right away present. Well, I mean, she can present herself, but
The seneschal looks at her. Hello, Lynn. I assume you're here just visiting? And there's a brief interaction, Lynn's been in town before. She's had to present herself before. That you get the impression that's really the only reason the seneschal knows who she is.
yeah.
And they kind of sort out, the prince is kind of busy of late. But given that she's shown good behavior the last time she was here, he doesn't see there being any likely problem with her staying briefly. And they come up with a way to contact each other. So when the prince is free and if he wishes to speak to her personally, they can set that up.
I would give them my number if it came to it.
Well, that's true because your farm is not.
Yeah.
A particularly secret haven.
No, it's not.
Which will be really fun once you make real enemies that want to come after you.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, if Lynn likes, she could stay with me, and if you need anything from her, she could just find us at my farm.
Oh, very good then.
I won't be anywhere unless my coterie needs me for something.
Oh, very good then. And he takes his leave of you. He's got other things to be about.
So the way I'm understanding this is the prince is not going to actually be present. We're not actually going to present to the prince.
Oh no! According to Seneschal, he's busy. but she
Okay,
has
then yeah.
but she has taken the steps she needs to. So there's
Yeah. I made sure we're good.
yeah. There's no violation of the hospitality or any of that.
Yeah. Well, we did our part. You want to do anything?
I want to get out of here.
Yeah, of course. We'll leave.
And then she looks over the counter. Can I get one of these in a to-go cup? And the server just looks and then she gets up laughing and tugs you on and out the door.
Pull that out.
Well, you got to keep them on their toes every now and then.
Absolutely. Now, like big meaty shoulder, big meaty hand on her shoulder. I might text the group chat and be like, text if needed will be otherwise occupied.
Which is shocking. Blackjack's never otherwise occupied.
Maybe it's gonna be like, lady friend, smiley face.
I send a bunch of barnyard animal emojis.
That's just confusing or vulgar. I'm not sure which.
As you're doing the phone stuff, Lynn kind of looks at you. Huh. I thought the folks around here had like banned technology.
You can't stop us from sending a text message to our friends.
Don't tell him that.
It's just messages to my friends, letting them know where I'm going to be. Because I'm usually with them, but if I'm not with them, then
So what you got to eat around here?
I'll take her to the forest. I don't know what you're into. You asked me what's to eat around here. I'm going where I go to eat.
I thought you had cows on your farm. Why would you be out here in the woods?
It's the thrill of the being out here with nature and all that bullshit that they make you say on Discovery Channel and whatnot.
Sometimes I think you're half gangrel.
But is there any? Do you want a cow? I mean, we can go to the Jones Valley, I suppose.
No, I prefer people.
All right. Well, I mean, I know a couple. I guess clubs we could drive around or something.
Yes, that sounds much better.
All right. Well, I may have at it, and we'll go to. I don't know where Maeve's club is, right? So I would just go to a random. I would just go to a random club.
You met her outside the club, or close to the club one time.
Close to the club. That is.
I mean, unless Maeve has specifically kept it secret.
Right.
No, because if they found her, was it the sheriff or the deputy, whatever, found her for messages, she's not keeping her job a secret. It's just her haven a secret.
Okay. I would like to go specifically to Maeve's club, unless she has otherwise made it a secret to me. Then I wouldn't know.
No.
Okay.
So Maeve, you're at your club, and a little bit later, Blackjack comes strolling in with a woman at his side. Decker, what does Lynn look like?
Lynn is, for as big and meaty as Blackjack is, Lynn is none of that. She's very lithe and slender, and she has olive skin, tied back, tied black hair to back. It goes just under her shoulders.
Okay, kind of in a ponytail.
Yeah, in a ponytail going down. Mostly pretty plain looking as far as facial features go. But there's a sense of hardness to it.
Like somebody that's spent a lot of time outside, or like somebody that's been through some stuff?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
And yeah, she's slender. Blackjack's like 6 foot something. I'd say Lynn is like 5'7" ish.
Okay.
So there's a decent difference between our heights.
Yeah,
She could still kick
she's
my
not
ass though.
super short or anything, but
Yeah, she just everyone is dwarfed by someone who's 6 foot.
now, how long has the coterie been together before the campaign started? Had y'all fairly recently gotten together? I don't know that we ever really discussed that.
I feel like we might have been together for a little bit, but I think investigating those murders was like the first thing we did like a first major thing we did as a coterie. Unless you guys want to say otherwise.
I think that they'd been a coterie for a little while, but that was like the first major big thing.
Mhm.
Enough that they know each other pretty well.
Okay.
Except for Maven and Alexander, of course. Or except for Alexander, sorry. Who's
Yeah.
playing later.
Yeah, Alexander's brand spanking new.
Yeah.
So the guys have probably heard of Lynn.
Yeah.
And might have
absolutely
seen her. It
talked
depends
about
if
her at least once or twice.
yeah, she was in town about a year ago, so if the coterie was together then, they might have run into her, they might not have.
I'll just kind of like motion towards the crowd and be like, "Take your pick. I got a friend here. I'll be making conversation with. Just join us when you're ready."
Don't wait up. I actually do.
don't.
I don't think it's take too long.
Now, I'll kind of make tracks towards wherever I see Maeve doing her job.
And she's kind of leaning between the door and the bar. Just kind of keeping eyes on those coming in and those who are ordering drinks.
You absolutely see Blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see the woman that
Patrick.
came in with Blackjack, go up and kind of lean against the bar. Start making conversation with people.
Oh, fancy meeting you here.
I mean, I work here.
Funny how that works sometimes.
I bet. So this is your lady friend, huh?
I'll get down to how tall is Maeve?
About 5'5".
Yeah, I'll get down to like Maeve's level and be like, "That's my sire."
Parents coming to visit. Lovely.
Every now and again, just to make sure just to check up on everything.
Yeah.
Ooh, now y'all need to get Lynn and Colin together. It'd be like a vampiric parent trap.
No.
I hate this. Well, I'm sure you can relate with your recent encounters with your own parent.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's gone for a long job trip.
Well, it's a rarity nowadays to see mine, so I don't mind taking the time and showing her the sights, and every now and again a dive bar is exactly what we need. No offense, of course.
I don't
Hey,
think
nothing
Maeve's
wrong with
Club is
that.
exactly a dive bar.
No.
I mean, none of the clubs in Huntsville are that impressive.
I don't
But
live in Huntsville, guys. Help me out here.
Neither do I.
most of the things in Huntsville they call clubs are really just bars. Maybe a bar with a dance floor, but
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, I mean, every now and again, just gotta see the sights in town, even the clubs.
I mean, I figure she's not on the same diet you are.
That's why we're here.
That's what I figured.
Well, I think Maeve and I will make light conversation. I don't really get to talk to you a whole heck of a lot here outside of the coterie. And the only one I really like to bother at work is Jolene because it's fun. Um, but how you doing? You doing all right?
And as good as one can get with all the recent dog attacks.
Oh, you know.
Just waiting on it to get closer and closer to home.
And they will, I'm sure. But as long as we're together, the coterie and us, I mean, we'll be all right. Get
Let's
everything.
hope.
Samuel and I'm not gonna say like I'm a badass or anything, but you know, Samuel and I were able to stop one. However lucky we may or may not have gotten. I think the 5 of us would fare a better chance than just myself and Samuel, armed to the teeth, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky he has impressive guns.
So do I. I like
You were
legitimately just
lucky.
do this.
You were lucky to not be mauled.
Oh, I was mauled.
Maeve, you notice a couple of your coworkers over the side kind of watching this whole conversation. And when Blackjack refers to his guns and flexes, both of them start elbowing each other. At the distance, you can't tell, you know, if they're actually taking bets. Is Maeve about to knock this guy out? Or if they're just debating what farm he wandered off of.
The answer is yes.
Let me see if I can fix this real quick.
I
My
will
cat
say, I'm.
is eating my food.
Wow.
That's when you
Yeah.
eat the cat.
No, he's
No,
like
you can't do
sitting
that
on
on
the
Twitch.
couch.
You'll get us all banned.
Yeah, let's
You
not
do
that.
this, and then you eat. And Twitch
He's
will
on the
never know.
couch. It's hard to do anything to him when he's literally too far.
So, Blackjack
Twitch
is making
workouts
conversation with Maeve, but also is like keeping eyes on Lynn and just making sure whenever she's done with whatever she's doing, that she comes back and she starts addressing me out. And whenever that happens, I kind of elbow Maeve and be like, pretend you're gonna kick me out.
I mean, I can literally kick you out.
You could try.
Honey, I don't even need to try. I know I can.
Two guys in the background.
Fight.
And Maeve is just gonna go and deck him really hard.
I'm not even gonna resist it. I'm gonna lean into it a little bit, but I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna like sell a little harder than it hit, however much damage it may or may not have done.
What do I roll for that? Vinny, stop beating
Strength
my
and
food.
brawl.
Yes, I believe it's strength and brawl. Okay. 3 successes when he's not even trying to resist. Yeah.
I'll real loud say, you fucking bitch, and I'll really slowly throw a punch, like motioning to her, like catch my hand, you bitch.
She'd be like, really? Really? Okay, that's it. And then, yeah, she's gonna catch whatever he throws.
I just throw a fist for her to catch like that.
All right, I want you both to roll me.
Yes.
Bring up a sheet where I can see this. Manipulation. And performance.
Do I get any bonuses to this because we're making it happen?
Oh. The stats I don't have anything in.
The only alternative is for you to just really start beating on him.
I rolled the only success I'm gonna get.
It's a bad show.
You see several people that had perked up like, "Ooh, a fight!" Oh, yeah.
You two are crazy.
The other two kind of bouncers on duty. You know, when Blackjack first said that, they kind of, and then they're like, I think they're just screwing with us.
If I get the sense that people aren't like buying it, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna give Maeve a hug and be like, it's good to see Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
After you just fucking decked me in the mouth.
Well, you said make it hit, right?
You throwing all that punch.
As you're hugged up on Maeve, you see Lynn walk out the door with somebody.
Okay. We'll give that one about 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it's more like 10 or 15 before she comes back.
Fair enough. Then I'll say we'll give it another 5 minutes. Whatever. So show up when she shows up. But also, just don't let them. Do me a favor. Don't tell the rest of the coterie yet. I want to go to them one by one.
You know, Sam doesn't like that.
I'm not keeping secrets. I'm gonna go to him. I'm just saying.
I think he should be the next one you go to.
Oh yeah, this is just dinner first.
Okay.
I got this.
Now it's
I
time
think
to
he
hit the movie.
I think he feels some type of way when he's not the first person to know things.
He'll be alright. He'll get over it.
Let's hope.
Let's see. Samuel, you were on your way to the Chantry.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you have no issue driving there. You finished. Well, you probably haven't finished embalming the body, but you got the process going, so
Yeah.
I assume that sort of thing takes a long time.
It does. But he has started the process.
So yeah, you get to the Chantry without any trouble. You get you hear the ding of getting a text while you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Does Samuel check it while he's driving, or does he wait till he gets parked somewhere?
Wait till it gets parked.
Very good. He may have just eaten a part of a person earlier, but at least he doesn't text to drive.
Me, the player, texting and driving is the dumbest thing anybody could ever do. When it comes to driving.
Short of just driving with a bucket on your head, I suppose.
Yeah. Because you are, at that point, uncontrollably just about driving what is effectively a 1 ton to 1.5 ton missile.
A poorly directed missile.
Exactly.
I used to work with a woman that claimed she would read while she drove. I hope she's not serious.
I hope she's not serious either.
I used to get rides from a guy who would like he would get some alcohol after we would go after work, and he would get like a 6-pack or something, and he would fill like a regular like foam cup with it, put it there, and it drives me home, and he's just like drinking as we go, like just casually.
Well, if it's not a long trip, then maybe he's not drunk by the time he drops you off, at least.
He's also an alcoholic, so it takes him a while to get drunk.
Worked with a guy that got a DUI one time. I mean, years previous, and he would talk about the fact that he'd buy some before he went home. We worked third shift. He goes, don't drink while I drive. I've learned that lesson, but I've also learned if I really try, I can get 3 cans drunk from the end of my driveway to where I park next to the house.
Jesus Christ!
I think he had a long driveway, but still, yeah. But anyway, you pull in to the coterie. When you check your message, it's from Abla.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we finally gotten settled in. I finally gotten settled in at the university. Uh, you, you should come by and we should chat sometime. And she, say, Friday evening around such and such, whatever time, let me know if that works for you. It's very vague, like you ought to be, like a kindred ought to be if they're using the.
Friday evening is tomorrow night.
Or
day
actually,
after?
it's Saturday. It's Saturday currently in
Okay.
game, so maybe Friday. Well, Friday's fine though.
That'd be about a week, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the typical. Let me know if the time works for you.
And he'll say that he agrees, provided nothing outstanding crops up.
It's like, oh, of course. If something does, just let me know.
And he'll say that he will.
You get a smiley face back.
Colon parentheses. Okay.
No, it's an actual emoji.
Oh, okay.
If your phone does those. But...
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're not particularly archaic when it comes to technology, though.
Yeah. I mean, he has to keep up to date on technology.
At least medical technology.
Yeah. He doesn't have like a smartphone touchscreen thing because vampire, that doesn't work. But he is fairly well versed in technology.
But as you walk as you walk into the chantry, most of the other apprentices are already there. But as early as they are in their training, they do most of their research. Very few of them, if any of them, have their own personal labs yet.
Yeah.
As opposed to you, that you can do most of your work from your house if you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to hit the chantry maybe for some specialized equipment or access to the full library. Because the chantry does have a better library than your personal one.
Yeah, it does. I imagined it did.
Not as good as it used to, because a lot of those books did burn.
That they did. Unfortunately.
As you walk in, a couple of the apprentices are, in the middle of some sort of debate. They pause long enough to greet you.
Yep. He'll head over to Alejandro's office.
You get there. You don't hear, any. Doesn't sound like he's in there talking to anybody or throwing a temper tantrum like he was one of the times you showed up. You think, you hear some paper shuffling or something, that's about it.
He'll just knock on the door.
Whom is it?
It's Samuel.
Oh, come in, Samuel.
And he'll open the door, step inside.
He's got a couple different tomes open up on his desk that he's been leafing through and making note.
Yep.
And please, shut the door and come on in.
He will. He'll shut the door.
How did things go down in Mooresville yesterday? Or last night?
It went... Interesting.
In what way?
Well, the entire city is warded. Town.
You couldn't get in?
Oh, we could. But it was a ward that immediately identified who we were. Or, more accurately, what we were.
Interesting. To cover that large... Do you know for certain that it was covering the entire town, or was it perhaps just on the streets?
As far as I'm aware from the report I received, it was the town itself.
Still, like, I suppose if it was simply a ward set up as an alarm, maybe the larger size would not be as prohibitive as it would be trying to put up one of our wards on something that size.
That was my thought, yes.
I saw nothing in the news about any odd goings on down there, so I assume things went smoothly.
I have struck a deal with the magus that put up the ward.
What sort of deal?
The reason why he came to the city to begin with was he was putting a ward of similar nature to stop any of our kind from crossing the boundary at all, to protect a family member.
The Davis woman, I believe it was, and he starts flipping through some of his notes. What's
Yes.
like I'm doing?
The
Diane,
deal,
Diane Davis, I believe.
the deal, such as it is given that she currently resides within my domain, that as long as the normal rules of poaching, of not poaching within another's domain are adhered to, I would see to her protection from others of our kind.
Easily, if she lives in your domain, that's easily enough done.
In return, he would maintain the secrecy of our kind, as well as share in his knowledge of magic.
That's interesting. But yes, most magi maintain their own sort of masquerade.
Yeah, so I figured, since by the adherence to our own laws, it was in effect a win-win for me, I would make use of another form of magecraft to study, to help further our own thaumaturgies.
Mm-hmm. It will be interesting to see if you can translate any of that. Some mortal mages... Well, we've been known to embrace mortal mages, only to have them lose their abilities. This happened with the founder, from what I gather.
Yes.
By the same token, there are the hedge mages, which is something else entirely. That I've heard rumors of us being able to learn some of their magics, though they're of an inferior sort to thaumaturgy. But
Well, it is my belief that I might be able to reverse engineer potentially some rituals.
if
From
you could
the
figure
magic
out if you could
teams.
figure out that ward he uses, that might be useful.
That was my first priority, yes.
Very well. I think I can present this to to the prince in a way that he will be satisfied with it. None of us want to start a battle with mages, if it can be helped.
He certainly left the impression that should any battle occur, it would not take much for him to blow the masquerade open.
Well, that could be true of two Tremere fighting or battling if we
Of
did
course.
so out in public.
Yes.
Do you believe he's trustworthy to keep his end of the deal?
So long as his family member is kept safe from harm, or safe from being hunted by our own kind, I do believe so. That seemed to be his primary goal, was to make sure she was kept safe from us.
Oh, good work. I think this will be another feather in our hat. since the Hakim have not really done anything since they've come to town.
From what I understand, they've been working on setting up.
Yes, they've building their influence over the staff at Calhoun.
Of course.
I do have reports of
Me, the player, going, that's where I'm going to be going to school soon.
though I've got reports of the American and the Russian, what was it, Bradley and Petrov, have been moving around the city quite a lot.
It's unsurprising for members of their caste.
It disturbs me to have Assamite warriors running around free in a Camarilla city. Isn't right at all.
Well, perhaps once their influence is finished setting up, if the lupine presence continues to be a threat, they might prove their worth as warriors against them.
That is true. They would certainly be useful cannon fodder. But they have not come anywhere near the Chantry though so far. So,
Of course.
though I'm sure they're looking for it.
Well, I will be making a visit to the college here within the next week.
Oh, the Zakara woman got back in touch with you.
Yes, I've been invited.
Excellent. Yes, do try to befriend her with that old English charm of yours.
Well, of course, my lord.
And any thaumaturgy. Well, let's see. Anything you can learn about their quietus that might be useful to us.
Of course.
You were at that last meeting the prince held. You seem to be dropping some hints towards Lady Deschler. Has she nibbled at that bait at all?
I believe that I have set the hook sufficiently.
Excellent.
She has, in fact, requested a meeting tonight.
Ah, very good. Yeah, as I said, feel teach her enough to keep a dabbler happy, but only the basics, nothing.
Of course.
But if we can drop a few breadcrumbs to keep her interest, maybe she'll will continue to look to us rather than going to speak to the Hakim.
I will certainly do my best.
I have faith in you.
Of course.
Let's see. Well, thank you for coming by and bringing me your report. I'll take what you've told me to the prince. As I said, I think he'll be content.
I do believe it was handled sufficiently, and it will, in turn, increase our own knowledge.
And knowledge is power.
Of course. We lost too much of it when the Chantry burned.
Indeed.
Me in my head, same as going, and I will about to be the incinerator. But, if that is all, my lord, I do believe I have a meeting with the lady of the city.
Yes, please. Be on about your business.
Of course. Have a good night, sir.
You as well, Samuel. And just as you reach there, oh, and Samuel, whatever happened to the lupine body that you and your coterie killed?
Well, I have been I took what I needed for experimentation.
Do bring some samples by for the chantry.
Of course.
You may keep the bulk of what you've recovered, but do bring some by.
I'll be sure to do so.
And at that point, he turned back to his work, whatever he was working on.
Samuel's sitting there going, I'm glad I used the stuff that actually had the power in it. But actually, that would be something, dropping the whole body off at the chantry. Just, here you go.
You're
Werewolf
purple
body.
now.
Yeah, that would
Where'd
be
all
something.
the blood go?
Out for the neck.
You said I could keep the bulk of it. But then he is going to head up to go meet with Lady Deschler.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you'd probably be getting there after Blackjack and Lynn, well after they had left.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blackjack. After this and hearing what Maeve had to say, I would probably go back and wait at or around Samuel's place.
Well, like I said, 10 or 15 minutes after Lynn walks out with the guy,
Yeah.
she kind of comes back in, steps over to you. And if you're still over there by Maeve, she asks who this is.
Yeah. This is Maeve. This is one of my partners.
Oh, it's pleased to meet. Always pleased to meet one of my little boy's friends.
Pleased to actually meet a parent of his. Hi there.
I met her parent. So this is only right, I suppose.
Oh, and who is your sire, my dear? Well, she probably didn't say my dear. That doesn't sound like something. Doesn't sound like the kind of language you'd use the way I got a picture.
Colin.
She thinks, Clan Gangrel?
Mm-hmm.
I believe I may have met him before.
Only
in
all the older
passing.
folk know each other.
Only in passing, but... bit of a silver fox.
A bit.
I remember. So what were you two trying to get into a fist fight about, or a fake fight about?
You talked to him about that. He wanted to get tossed out.
She's not very convincing at kicking people out. She also couldn't hit with the shit. But we'll leave that for another time.
I mean, if you want, give me a date. I'll show you how well I can hit.
We'll put a pin in that one for now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have worked with her, and she's a great combatant. Alongside, this.
Well, her clan and ours have often been close allies. They joined the Camarilla together, they left the Camarilla together. Which is a simplification, but anyway.
That's That's reductive. Blackjack wouldn't know what reductive means, but he's heard it before.
I don't know, Blackjack might read.
It's more philosophy.
The Bruja are warrior philosophers. Maybe
Yeah,
Blackjack's a
philosopher.
farmer philosopher.
He is. You didn't have to say it like that. But I'll go and show Lynn off to the man of the house.
It's like, oh, I get to meet all your friends tonight.
Oh, that's the goal. Unless you had something else in mind.
No, that sounds like fun. Let's go.
All right.
Just make sure you know where he's at.
I
Don't pop
I
on him
don't.
unannounced.
I don't. But
Just show up at the hospital, in the operating room, in your overalls.
Doc, I got something stuck in me.
What, the stick up your ass?
No, that's yours.
Oh my.
All right.
Just,
there you go.
just looks at his thighs like, see what I have to work with?
We'll go to we'll go back up to the hills to the country. We'll go to his where I know he lives, and if he's not there, then eventually we'd show up to the country club. Where
Well,
I
you've got
know
his phone
where
number,
we-
too. I mean, you can't always text him.
Yeah, this is more fun.
Okay. So y'all get back
That's what
together.
the man was telling him. Message him to know where he's at.
So y'all get out on the
Thanks, man.
highway and you're driving, and you're driving for, you just drive for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because the club's not way, far out from the code or from the domain.
Yeah.
Lynn's sitting there looking out the window.
What have you been up to this last year?
Oh, just traveling around something and, moving around, not really staying in one place too much. Can't really find me a place I want to settle down.
Why is that?
She doesn't answer for a second. It's like something's got her distracted. She goes, huh. Why do you obey?
Huh?
And we'll cut to Alexander. You spent a couple hours putting in the alarm system in the back. You've got it wired up. You had all the parts you needed. It's gone pretty smoothly. Like any do-it-yourself project, there's been a few things that you had to undo and redo, and
Snag a little bit.
yeah. Now, I'm assuming that y'all are keeping the Haven secret. I mean, it's an antique store. It's out in public, but as far as let anybody know that there's anything weird going on with it.
In the basement.
Would this building have a basement? Or would you basically have like a little walled off, unused section of sewer that you could just access?
Would Samuel buy anywhere without a basement?
No, that's a good point. I'm just thinking of like storefronts and that sort of space. Not a lot of that kind of stuff has basements.
Considering it would be possible backup haven for a bunch of people that have to be like hidden from sunlight, he would have probably made sure it had a basement.
Yeah.
Of course,
That or
this could
nothing
be,
else
of course,
to install one.
being an antique shop, it could be something built, where somebody took an old house and turned it into a storefront.
Yeah. Could be.
We'll go with that.
You know them old houses.
So anyway, Alexander, you move to then you move to the front of the shop where you're, I mean, it's night, it's a little bit later, everything's pretty well shut down. Bree is still unpacking some stuff. When you step into the front, she's like, what is Alexander's last name?
It's been so long since I thought about that. That's a good question. Wilson. Yeah.
Anyway, when you step out, she's like, I think I'm just about done in here, Mr. Wilson. I think we're just about ready to open.
Good. I'm just getting the security systems up and running, so don't mind me. Just trying to get the last little tidbit together.
Oh yeah, there's no problem. Though you notice he keeps a weary eye on you.
I do thank you for your hard work. We'll make sure to reward you in some way. Don't know yet. I'll talk to Samuel on that one.
Well, you know, we've arranged what my salary and stuff's going to be, so you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm just glad to have a job and a spot to stay. You know, down here a little further into the city and a little, you know, less away from that northern border.
Understandable. As he's just like.
It's weird. Moulton's so much smaller, but I never knew of any lupines coming through there.
Yes, they are rather annoying creatures.
That's one word for it. Oh, that's right. They basically ran you off where you were staying too, didn't they?
Unfortunately.
I forgot you were up there. I think I heard somebody say you were up there in Hazel Green. So.
Not too far from it, no. 'Twas my home back when I, actually drew breath.
Yeah, Moulton was the same way with me. I still got a lot of family out there, but it's just... Well, I'm getting to that age where I ought to be sprouting some gray hair, and I'm not, and I'm not wrinkling up like I ought to.
Well...
But, I'm not complaining about it, but, I needed to get some distance.
I don't blame you, though unfortunately for me, it went a little bit more south than what I anticipated my turning to be. But then again, I forgot that the Nosferatu weren't blessed with the, the Hollywood side of vampirism. But alas, we all find our niche in the world.
She's like, I don't know, there was a really, really early movie. Because I don't know if it was Hollywood or not. But there was a really early movie about you guys.
Ah yes, it was actually a classic. I enjoy watching it from time to time. Funny how they just somewhat get the few things right. At least
She's like, I was about to ask if they kind of got the experience right. Bram Stoker's wife sued them over that. Or daughter, or somebody in the family sued him.
Well, that's interesting. Lucky for them. Again, as he's just randomly trying to just piddle and stall a few things.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, she has turned most of the front lights off. I mean, it's not completely dark, but
it's enough to where he could easily see if he had to.
Yeah, you can see fine, and it's enough that unless somebody walked right up to the window, they wouldn't be able to make any details out about you.
Yeah,
they would see there was a dude.
Silhouette.
They'd see a silhouette of a man working, but they'd have to be right up on you to. You're not gonna freak out passing drivers, basically.
Yeah. God, you saying that just reminds me of a side tangent. It's like I don't understand why so many people will literally leave their blinds wide open, and you can see perfectly into anything. It's just like, why would you do that? Why? But anyway, sorry, side tangent.
Yeah, a lot of times it's the first thing I'll do after stream is get up, walk in my bedroom, and shut the... Because, the sun's up when we start, so I haven't shut the windows in there.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I didn't do the same thing. It's just like, oh yes, we kind of need to shut this. Anyway. Alright, so...
But,
save system installed. Not real sure what else needs to be put up. Unless we're going to be being fancy and putting certain security measures on the doors.
Well, just the baseline. If somebody kicked the door in, once the alarm is set, if the door opens.
Yeah.
Now, do you set it up to just call the police like a normal alarm, or does it notify you specifically? Or, I say you, the coterie.
Probably just to notify the coterie first, and if someone doesn't respond to it, go in and do something to where the system knows that someone has gotten the message, then it contacts the police.
Okay. Cause
it's kind of double redundant to where it's oh, send it to this person. They don't respond, send it over their head.
Okay. So you'll get it a minute or two, enough time that you can respond with a code for it not to call the police and just run there on your own.
Yes.
Because as far as I know, you don't really have anything suspicious here. It's really just a meeting spot and, safe house kind of thing in the basement. But
pretty much just a safe house, meeting spot, and just has a few nice fake items to look pretty.
Well, it's going to be a legit business.
Oh yes.
But like a lot of them antique shops, who knows if it'll actually make any money or not.
Who knows? Who knows?
Got
If
enough
it's
money to keep
antique.
it afloat.
Could just be something Samuel thought, oh, I don't need this anymore. Yeet.
Well, yeah, that was the joke I was making last week. Was that y'all just empty you older guys just empty your storage units into it?
Basically.
First of all, Samuel's a hoarder.
You're not wrong.
See if I can get everyone to flip me off by the end of the session. Got another hour to go.
Jolene, you are wrapping up your shift. Your buddy already got all. She was halfway through her shift when you showed up. Linda, was blanking on her name. Just picked it out. I was already blanking on it. And it's getting late enough now. They just slow down. You're getting the occasional drunk or third shift worker on a lunch break or that sort of thing. But it's been mostly just you and the cook. Shooting the breeze. He's an ex-con with a lot of stories about his days back before he got off the junk. He's got all these weird stories about things he did while he was high, and doesn't mind sharing it all.
Julian's just probably like, okay. I didn't need to hear any of this, but okay.
You all had that coworker.
Just
the one I'm thinking of, it was alcohol, not drugs, but yeah. He was a good dude when I met him, but he had stories about, staring at ex-girlfriends through rifle scopes and stuff, so,
Julian,
sure you want to be sharing that? Oh, it's been over 7 years. Okay.
It's been over 7 years. They can't convict me anymore.
Let me emphasize, he did not shoot anybody.
Statute of limitations is already passed on this crime. I can tell you about this.
Fun times. Anyway. So, he's got them kind of oddball stories that it does help pass the time, at least. But sometimes you wonder if you weren't at least half a vampire, if you'd be comfortable in the restaurant by yourself with him.
If I had to take him, I could probably take him.
But and he's been clean. He's married, got a kid now. But he's still kind of a big dude. He's still tattooed up.
Yep.
Maeve is probably just a couple of blocks away if need be.
I have everyone on speed dial.
Blackjack's not that far away, and he's got a friend.
Comes down to it, calls Samuel, who just walks upstairs, dude in the face. Kneel.
Walks in
No,
forward.
I'm just picturing two Bruja walking in and getting laid out by this fry cook. Well, first he hit him with hot grease,
Ooh.
Ow.
and then he took his
I mean,
cigarette and set him
yeah.
on fire.
Oh no. Oh
I mean,
no.
Then
It
he
would
looked over at
work.
Jolene. The only problem with Huntsville is all the damn vampires. Heads back to the kitchen.
Oh, damn.
Julian's just like, oh, look the time, I gotta go.
Shit.
I don't know why that sounds fascinating, but it does.
I will sacrifice Blackjack if you do that.
No.
That's not a reassuring laugh. Don't.
No, he's already got me. He's already got me with an existential crisis right now. Don't worry.
Oh, where's my copy of Adventure? It's a pulp era, kind of game that White Wolf did. That you have this daredevil type in there that, they don't show up as powered, but they can do a lot of weird stuff with just luck being on their side.
So, mages.
A lot of what they do isn't necessarily conscious, though.
Fair.
But they pop up in the sci-fi game or the superhero game, Oh, you had this, lab worker that just beat the snot out of these two superpowered guys. And nobody knows how he did it.
Staska.
Staska was all training.
Yeah.
And the good sense not to backstab the party.
Very true, yeah.
Anyway.
I need to add Staska to my Saturday game.
What game are you running on Saturday?
I run a homebrew.
What genre?
Sky Pirates.
Yeah, there's Sky Pirates.
Oh, okay.
It's
Sort of a mix of steampunk and fantasy.
Okay, but you
just
could bring
a low-tech-
fantasy races into it, so.
Just a low-tech Staska in there somewhere.
Not that you couldn't just make Staska a big Russian dude, if you had something set on her.
Well, I absolutely could. I have ideas now.
Ah, crap.
Everyone here plays in that except for me.
Yes, you are correct.
For now.
Little do we know he becomes the Staska.
Yeah, but little does he know he's going to be joining, whether he wants to or not. I mean, what?
But anyway, your shift, Jolene, your shift is finally winding down. Yours and the cooks, for that matter. The early morning guys are coming in to get ready for the breakfast rush. All right, so... All right, Blackjack and Lynn were headed back to...
Back to the hills.
Guy man in the booth looks a little surprised to see y'all show up again.
I forgot something inside. I know it doesn't look like I have a lot. It's everything I have is important to me. Thank you.
He lets you on through.
And I'll drive to go towards Samuel's haven.
No, you pull up to Samuel's house. You knock on the door. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. So Samuel, when you leave the coterie, do you go back home first or just straight to Nora's?
He would head to Nora's.
Okay. Which is still up in the ledges, but
I
Yeah,
was gonna say I'd see him go through the gate.
maybe.
you know what? Give me a
With awareness.
yes. Actually, both of you. See if y'all see each other.
Okay.
Staring at the car window at each other like,
What are they doing in my
Pretty good at
yard?
those.
Wits.
Where is he going?
Good question.
One. Not doing so hot today. So it's the whole my sire being next to me thing.
So you look up and you go, huh, that kind of looks like Samuel's car. But, it keeps driving past. And a lot of fancy cars up here. So somebody else, your thought is kind of like, huh, somebody else up here's got a car like Samuel's. Samuel, you see Blackjack's truck and Blackjack standing in your yard or up on your porch. And,
Keeps going.
There's some woman with him.
Just one text to Blackjack. You're explaining that later.
I mean, I can explain it now.
Look, I'm just trying to impress her, make her think I got a nice house. Where did you get the key hidden outside?
Turns around with a shotgun.
Come on, be the wingman I need.
I guess he's not here.
Also, Samuel, not pleased by you bringing a stranger to his haven. At all.
Yeah.
Fair.
The player knows this. Character will see.
Oh, but I forgot. We'd cut away from you after she had asked you a question.
Correct.
Let's jump back and take care of that.
Rewind.
So it's like we're driving and she says that and they're like, what was that?
Oh, why do you obey? It was written on. It like it was spray painted on one of those billboards.
I like do the real quick just to see if it was there.
Oh, I was on the road. Well, it was on one side of the billboard, and y'all drew and passed by the time she read it
why
off.
would you point it out to me? You gotta point something out to I'm like a cat with a laser pointer.
I thought cat. I didn't know cows did that with laser pointers. Oh.
Oh my god. I'm multifaceted. I just happen to have a love for dairy cows.
Anyway, so somebody's running around spray painting the red question in your city?
I mean, I guess so. It really hasn't occurred to me what the meaning of it is.
I think they covered that in the meeting y'all were at with the prince.
Yeah.
So, well, it's an anarch thing.
Oh. That's kind of weird. I mean, between Anarchs on one side and Lupins on the other, it's like you gotta pick your battle, you know?
Well, the anarchs at least just want you to join their side. The Lupins just kind of want to tear you apart. I know who I'd join up with between the two.
I see. But no, I mean, whatever happens to be in the area around where I live and where I tend the land is more or less where I'll stay at the moment.
So your loyalty to the Camarilla really only... You're only loyal to them because they're in control of your farm.
I'm also loyal to the people that's around me. I could be.
Well, that's your friends. I understand being loyal to your friends.
Yeah. Loyal.
If they've proven they've got your back, you should have their back.
Exactly. And their affiliations, whether or not I agree with them, I don't really. It's fine. They have the affiliation, and I will go along with it.
As long as you know you can count on them.
Yes.
You can't count on the Camarilla. Or any political organization. They'll use you, but they won't really have your back when it comes down to it.
Well, I mean, I assume that's why the Bruja left it.
Yeah.
In the first place.
I'm still not entirely certain what Theo found out. I mean, not that I'm on first name basis with him, but everybody knows who he is.
It sounded like you were there for a second.
Well, yeah. I mean, we all know who Theo Bell is, but
yeah, of course.
All right, and then you end up going up to.
And then you text me, and I text back like, I mean, I can explain it now.
And you realize, oh, that must have been Samuel's car.
Ah, crap.
Follow-up text. We are having a long talk after this. With the triple asterisks that make it bold and italicized. with the word long.
Lynn's
said
kind of
a smiley
looking,
face.
you know, as you're typing on your phone, Lynn's kind of leaning over your arm. Ooh, sound like the boss man's mad at you. I did kind of wonder why you were bringing him to his haven. Most people are kind of sensitive about that. I probably should have said something.
You are the older one, after all. You probably should. Still, these social nuances aren't quite my thing, even if public speaking technically is, I guess. It's being part of a crowd is one thing, but being on the stage is another. I'm sure you understand that.
Why does he live outside of your domain, though? That's weird.
There's too many things that don't have an answer.
I'd keep an eye on him. He's the Tremere, right? You mentioned there was a Tremere back when you got this thing going.
Yeah.
You gotta be real careful with him.
I'll tell you what. Let's I don't know. Let's go somewhere else for now, I suppose. You feel like doing anything?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna meet all your friends. Come on, you can take me to another. You can take me to another one's haven. You can have long talks with everybody tonight.
I just feel everybody like staring dags at me today. It's weird. I'll tell you what. We'll go to Would Blackjack know that the pawn shop is okay to take somebody to?
That's a good question.
You know that it is the coteries' haven.
Fall back.
And Samuel just seemed to be upset that you brought somebody to his haven.
Yeah.
So
But,
if the antique shop were open, you know, like open for business, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much you trust Lynn.
Sure. I will shoot a text to Jolene actually and just be like, Jolene, where you at? I can introduce you to a friend.
Probably getting off shift. I'm walking home.
Do you want to meet the usual spot? I can introduce you to her. You might like her.
Concern. Okay, sure.
Just get the hell out of Dodge.
So you're up in the fancy gated community in the middle of the night, squealing your tires.
I'm not actually stealing my tires, but I am making a faster pace.
I was about to say, you're about to piss a lot of rich people off if you pull that stunt.
They get out in the morning, they're looking around, they see the tire marks coming out of Samuel's driveway.
Man, these junkies are getting bold.
He start having angry notes.
Samuel sees them.
Start having angry notes on his door about the junkie truck that keeps showing up in the middle of the night. Truthfully, security would probably have been all over you if, you know, the vamps didn't basically control the security. But yeah, if Jolene's waiting at the regular spot, you know, you get down there to her without any trouble.
Oh, there she is. Just stop at the usual spot. Be like, Jolene!
She looks like a waitress.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
We'll come out. Jolene, this is what do we call it? This is Lynn.
Nice to meet you then.
Oh, pleased to meet you. He shakes your hand. Blackjack's just running me around, introducing me to all of his buddies.
My deepest sympathies.
It hasn't been that bad.
You say that, but Samuel has made a call to security that says once that truck leaves, it's not allowed back in.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry about that, sir. Is it a permanent ban or?
For now,
Yes, sir.
until they've learned their lesson.
Permanent.
Understood. He doesn't sound like he understands, but.
Lynn kind of taught me how, more or less, to be me, or what you see before you.
Lynn kind of goes. He was mostly like that when I met him.
Yeah.
I just kind of brought him into our world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Try not to use the words out loud. Not like
You're literally standing on like a sidewalk.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning on a sidewalk.
You know, in a residential area, so yeah, there ain't nobody around that you can see. You never know.
There's always a nos around.
You never know where the
always
nos
a nos
are.
around.
Always assume there's a nos around.
Alexander's just behind a pole peeking around.
I mean, I could be.
No.
enjoying-
See, he's not behind the pole. He is the pole.
Pole.
The pole right next to you, giving light. That is him. Sneak
Got
100.
Got like a flashlight.
No, Jolene just reaches over and is like, "Wait, this is supposed to be a pole? How is it soft?"
I'm uncomfortable
Clicks.
with this.
Clicks off the flashlight.
Anyway. So, Lynn, Lynn looks at how you're dressed. It's kind of like a. So do you like have like a regular job?
And I'll be independently wealthy or own a farm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's 30 years of hard work on that farm.
It's a drop in the bucket compared to how long you'll live.
And it's going to be that much longer worked at it.
Yeah, nobody's gonna get suspicious of that.
They'll die before they
Hey,
get
there's this
it's
guy that
fine.
only works his farm at night that's been doing that for 60 years.
Doesn't look old at all either.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But they'll probably be dead before then, so it's fine.
I mean, I'm a youngster and I already know I gotta start looking at ways to change stuff, so...
She's like, oh, so you're brand spanking new.
4 or 5 years, give or take.
Yeah, that's a baby. So I met the gangrel, and he was trying to introduce me to the Tremere, but I think he got himself in a little trouble there. What clan do you belong to?
None in particular.
I've known some KF.
Sure.
Try again.
Go check. Let it go.
For a few seconds, her whole demeanor changes. All her body language just kind of changes.
Does it get aggressive?
She doesn't take an actual step back, but you get the impression that she caught herself before she took a step back.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see.
She has proven herself very, very useful in our group makeup, I suppose.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure she has. There's just awkward silence from
She is
Lynn.
a valued. I'm continuing. to break the awkward silence. She is a valued. The manager talks. She is a valued member of this team.
Well, this got real awkward real quick. I'm just gonna keep on walking. Y'all have a fine night. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Come on, let's go. Let's go see what else we can do for the night.
Yeah.
I think I'll take you back home for now, and we'll beat the rest of them another night.
She gets back into the truck. So how many more people do you have in your coterie?
A couple more, but I mean the one that I've been, I guess, texting me, and then we have another. I'm not even gonna bother trying to find him. He'll find me when he's ready.
She looks at you. Nos?
I nod.
Ah, okay. Useful to have one around, but a lot of times they'll put their clan first. I mean, not to the degree a Tremere will, but
I don't know. I think the loose thing we all have in common here is we're kind of a band of misfits.
well, that certainly explains.
Say it.
Well,
Say it.
it's just one of the thin blood is always going to be a bit of a misfit in society. That's
Right.
that's nothing against her.
You sounded like you were about to be against her.
It's nothing personal.
Is it just all older vampires are just against the harbingers of the end times or whatever bullshit they feed y'all?
I wasn't a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, a decade and a half ago. But when one of those old wives' tales climbs his ass up and has to be nuked to be put down, you start paying a lot more attention to that stuff. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the Camarilla used to be practically atheists, maybe agnostics. Never been entirely certain what the definitions are there. Now look at us. We have churches of Cain popping up, and they fully embraced it now since, a few hundred years ago, and this doesn't exist, and then one pops up and eats a clan.
I mean, have you seen our sheriff? They're not all eating.
The sheriff in Huntsville's a Bruja.
Who was I thinking of? No, the other one.
The Scourge is what you're thinking of.
Scourge, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a few stragglers.
But I mean, it's fine. I personally think that's still a bunch of doohickey. I think it's just a bunch of old wives' tales and coincidences, and it's nothing to worry about.
I hope you're right.
Like I said, loyalty to the coterie.
I hope I didn't offend her too badly.
I think it definitely made things awkward. I feel like she's a little used to it though, so it's a coin flip whether or not she's personally offended.
Well, if she seems to be, you apologize for me. Yeah.
I feel like
you
thing
should probably
to do
warn me ahead of time, but
I feel like the thing to do would be to like do that in person. I'm not much of a texter to begin with, but also like it's just the thing to do is to be the person to person say, hey, I'm sorry if I seem spooked or something to that effect.
All right, so where is it you're taking Lynn?
Back to my farm.
Okay. Let's see. Over at the antique shop, Bree's getting ready to leave. She's actually been there a bit longer than she normally would have been, but y'all are checking the little, not that you set up just a ton of cameras, but you've got a couple of cameras set up to monitor. She was in there checking, or she was in there helping you make sure the monitors were working.
Yeah, check the front door, back door, side door, basement. Don't worry about the basement.
Well, she knows where the basement's at, but she's completely in the know. I wonder if she would count as part of the coterie now. Or are y'all strictly keeping her as at kind of an employee level?
It's up to Samuel.
Say employee for now, and then we'll see.
Okay.
I was basically saying, I was like, I'm not dare about to make that call. I know better.
The rest of us don't want grounded too.
Cowards.
Yeah.
If anything, Alexander would probably hint that, keep up good service, maybe some type of promotion. But again, Samuel will work those details out.
I'm already managing the place. How much of a promotion can there be?
Oh, don't worry. There's always more room for improvement.
But anyway, she tells you and by the time the evening wraps up, she seems a little more comfortable with you.
I mean,
not to the point of looking directly at your face very often, but
it doesn't freak her out the fact to which I'm there.
Right, she seems a little more comfortable. It's like she's talked to you. You're a person now, but you're really ugly, so I'm not gonna look at you directly.
I mean, that's fair. Again, you're trying to hold a conversation with someone that's pretty much a rat man, so holding at least that kind of light conversation is fine.
But when she gets ready to leave, she reminds you of to be sure to put in the code on the alarm before you leave.
Oh yeah. Hey, he's like, oh, don't worry. So once you're gone, I'll go ahead and do the little final touches.
I mean, you install the thing. She's sure you wouldn't forget, but she put a lot of work into getting all that stuff on the shelf. She doesn't want to come in tomorrow and it be swiped.
Right.
And let's see, this is Saturday, so y'all are probably aiming to open about Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So she's gonna take the next, she's gonna take the Sunday off and then come back in Monday to open up. So yeah, you have no trouble finishing up, and you can duck out back to your haven for the day, or you've got the basement of this place that y'all may or may not have furnished yet, but And then we'll cut back to Samuel.
Yeah, he'll go back to his haven. He'll punch in the codes, make sure it all goes through, and head back to his place.
I'm just picturing him testing. All right, codes in, shut the door, open the door, alarm goes off. All right, it texted me, code turned it off. All right, we're good to go.
Pretty much.
He would get a text later saying, there's a strange woman with Blackjack. I need you to keep an eye on her.
Is that to me, or...?
Yeah, to Alexander.
He would kind of cock his head and be like, oh, he's gained a lady friend. Cheers to him, and I will keep an eye out.
So do you go back to your haven, or do you head to the farm? You've still got you've still got a couple hours till...
You know what? He's gotten the message to investigate, so he's just going to slink on down. Pops up by the fence, and here's a cow moo. Hi, Bessie. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. That's Blackjack's job. Whenever he gets hungry again, that's not mine. I done promised.
Then you find out his cows are all were cows.
Also, we do have a name for the shop.
Oh yes, I saw where Sarah
One.
put that up. Evening Primrose Antiques. I like it.
Yep.
And I can abbreviate it EPA.
The Environmental Protection Agency.
Dear God.
Are you invisible when at my place?
I mean, he would probably like get up to the property, try to look and see where you are,
I'd be
and
pulling up eventually.
You would probably
What's
beat
up?
him there. You would probably beat him there. 'Cause
oh yeah, I mean,
he's hoofing it.
wait, yeah, you'd beat me there.
Okay.
Like you'd
Okay.
probably already be like talking or mid conversation, just like, okay, Blackjack's there and his woman's there, and stop moving.
And you
Okay.
hear them talking, and you hear the woman. She seemed really nice. It's just, it just freaked me out. I wasn't expecting it.
I mean, she is very lovely. Like, and she could throw a punch like nobody's business. This is how I judge all of my coterie, of how well they can throw a punch. Some of them are better than others.
How does Samuel throw a punch? Yeah, he shoots things. Oh, okay.
With a dragon fire round.
What?
Fireball!
He's yeah.
How does Samuel
will
throw a
say-
punch? With fire. What? I just imagine that reaction to any kindred you talk to. How does Samuel throw a punch? With fire.
And he would say it with fire.
Scully, please don't fall, child.
But Alexander gets the, as the conversation continues on, you get the impression this is somebody from Blackjack's past. I'm not sure that you'd pick up enough to go, oh, this is his sire, but
Oh no, like he would probably okay, someone he knows, probably when he was alive.
it becomes obvious after a while that she's staying the day with him.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So clearly it's somebody he trusts. If you don't let him
I've
stay
got
in his haven.
I've got room for one more downstairs. But you've been here before. You know how that works.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind snuggling up. Just don't get any ideals.
I can't.
She arcs an eyebrow at you.
Thank you, Josh.
And we will cut back to Samuel. Oh, go ahead if you got something else you want to say.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll cut back to Samuel as you are getting out, finishing your text to Blackjack, walking up to the Deschler's home.
Yeah. Blackjack and then Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
He probably still has that dangerous, angry twitch in his eye, though. Not gonna lie.
Classic anime, like little
Probably.
thumping vein in the head.
He
You cut out.
probably looks a lot more like the. It probably looks very much more like the very cold and emotionless Tremere now than people really know him to be.
Game face.
Yeah, he's mad. So game face is on.
Usually he's so jolly. Now he looks just, now he looks poker face. That's how you know he's pissed. Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the coterie like, oh shit, he got quiet. We're all gonna get killed.
He does the cold, angry. Then he sets you on fire.
Yeah.
So as you knock on the door,
Mhm.
one of the servants answers. I will memorize y'all's last names at some point.
Caldwin.
Caldwin. Ah, Dr. Caldwin. Please come in.
Thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't know you well enough to catch the whole quiet thing.
Nora does.
All vampires are in.
Please, this way. Lady Deschler is in the sitting room. And you walk in, and the sitting room is done up like a small library. You've been in here before. You know there's a handful of occult books, nothing particularly impressive, and nothing that would be overly suspicious if a mortal wandered in.
Right.
Just be one of those. Oh, yeah, they've got an interest in the occult, or
Yeah.
But as you walk, you're like, Samuel. I'm glad you were able to come by today.
Lady Deschler.
And she kind of looks at you. It's like she takes in your expression.
Apologies. I've been dealing with some issues tonight.
Has Marcy been in touch with you?
I'm a feeling I'm going to need to get a hold of her in the near future. What did Blackjack do?
She just laughs. He was attempting to do what he should have done. He could have simply done a better job of it. Do you know his sire Lynn?
No, but considering what happened tonight, I'm about to get mightily well acquainted.
Well, he brought her to the country club to let her speak with the seneschal about presenting herself. She's visiting. Which, it's not an improper thing to do, but he, it looks like he came straight, according to Marcy, it looks like he was rolling around in his farm right before he walked in. It was, well, honestly, it was pretty amusing, but don't tell Marcy I said that.
Of course not.
But,
she'd probably die of a heart attack.
Now, on a more serious note, if he keeps coming into the ledges in that truck in the middle of the night, it's going to begin drawing attention. Do please have a word with him.
I've already dealt with that.
Ah, very good then.
He is not allowed to drive up here anymore. And he says that out loud. It's like, he's not allowed to drive up here anymore.
But I'm glad to see you have it. You already have it under control.
Yes. If you give me, I apologize, a few minutes to compose myself, we might get to business.
Of course. Please come in and have a seat.
Of course.
Servants bring in drinks. It is the typical kind of stuff that you get at the country club or whatever. The kind of blood flavored with wine kind of mix.
I have a feeling that him and Nora have this just kind of professional friendly relationship thing going on.
Nora appears very friendly most of the time.
Yeah.
You have seen her where she puts her game face on, so you're never sure how deep the friendly really goes. Which is, fairly typical of dealing with vampires, period.
Mm-hmm.
She is Ventru, but...
Yeah. And he's Tremere.
Yeah, so...
So they both have kind of the same vibe there.
But she has been an ally to, she has been a good ally to the Tremere.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wish to speak with you. She gives you your minute or two to collect your thoughts.
And he probably has the mask has probably slipped back off again by that point.
So I know I've pestered you before about an interest, my interest in thaumaturgy.
Of course.
And I know, I know that Tremere mostly wish to keep the art a secret.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, I couldn't help but pick up some hints from you that perhaps your attitude changed slightly.
I have been doing some thinking. Thus far, aside from the occasional needle to Alejandro, you have been a rather stalwart ally of the Tremere.
Mm-hmm.
While it would take more to authorize anything further, I do believe I can reward you with at least the basics of our knowledge.
Well, I'm certainly very interested in that. What if I can ask, what changed your mind? What made you decide this all of a sudden?
Well, truth be told, it has been something that's been on my mind for the last few years. I was weighing the pros and cons.
You are a thoughtful one.
Some of us have to be.
It doesn't have
And when he says some of us have to be, he gestures to him and Miss Deschler.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the Banu Hakim moving into town.
In part. I see them as another avenue of research. As always, my primary goal has been the furthering of our knowledge on magics and on the way and on our nature as kindred. The Banu Hakim have knowledge the Tremere do not have. So it is in my own personal interest to facilitate, if not a professional, at least a friendly relationship with another clan of thaumaturgists.
I'd be very careful. There's a long and sordid history between between your two clans.
Yes.
Yeah, truthfully, between the Hakim and all the clans.
Mm.
They've only turned to us in their moment of desperation.
And desperation does breed advantage. It is dangerous, true, but sometimes one just has to roll the dice.
And let me guess, Alejandro was worried I might take my inquiries to them.
He, between you and me, Lady Deschler, of course, he did not even attempt to hide that worry from me. He was rather plain about it, actually.
You're his right-hand man as much as he has one. So if he was going to confide that in anyone, it would be you.
That is fair.
I mean, the rest of your clan here in the city are mere babes.
They are.
And Alejandro's refusal to pick a side in your clan's current divisions means he has, cuts off the avenue of bringing in much of anyone from the outside.
There are some outliers that do not follow one side or the other.
People waiting to see how the dust settles.
Yes. My sire is one of them, although he has mostly been trying to facilitate at least some form of ceasefire between them.
Well, blessed are the peacemakers. And I'm sure there's plenty of them, plenty of your clan that simply wish to concentrate on their research, and the political niceties are of less importance to them.
He just sort of gestures to himself.
But yes, if you're available for some tutoring, I would very much like to get started. I mean, not tonight. It's very late tonight. I understand. But...
It is. However, there is one thing I can leave with you.
Oh?
You know, us as vampires, blood is everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there is much more to it than just a hunger. What we might learn from it. What resonances we might gain. Things of that nature. As I'm sure you're aware.
You speak of the humors of the blood.
Of course.
I am passingly familiar with it. I'm sure it's nothing on the level of your knowledge.
I would like you to think on this. And then I would like your answer next time we meet. Think on the humors of the blood. What makes the blood who we are? The resonance it carries. The, shall we say, the trail that carries from sire to child.
You mean the differences? You mean the differences between the clans and the bloodlines, essentially? And she's actually kind of taking notes while you.
That is a simple way to put it, but yes. It goes a little deeper, as each trail that is walked among the blood is unique from child to sire. And vice versa. Think on that, and what that might mean. As that is something that I have mastered the thaumaturgical art of. And there are, once you understand that intimately on a deeper level, there are many things you can do with blood magic.
I look forward to learning these things. And I will think on what you've told me today.
I look forward to our next conversation.
I do as well. Please, Doctor, let me show you to the door.
Of course.
And, she walks you. And just before you leave, she's like, I would perhaps think of something nice you could do for Marcy.
I will certainly do my best.
She was all aflutter.
Of course. What time of night is it?
By this point, it's probably 4:30 or so. I mean, it's
4:30. Okay.
You do not have a lot of time left.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense. I say, looking at the clock.
Well, yes, we don't have a lot of time left either.
Yeah.
Everything fits.
It does.
When does the sun come up? 9 o'clock in the evening.
What? Yeah.
What? Sun hasn't gone down for me yet.
That weirds me out sometimes, Dicka. Because me and him are in the same time zone.
Yeah.
I live in Texas.
I know, but, I mean, we're in the same time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun's been down about an hour here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
granted,
And he'll-
it's
Why
a
is it
huge,
starting to go down?
granted, it's a huge ass time zone still.
Yeah. But he'll sort of nod to Lady Dash. He's like, I'll see what I can do. I believe there's some things that a Toreador might be interested in. How do we say, reparation gift.
That would probably be a wise thing to do.
Of course.
Do have a good night, Doctor, or a good day, Doctor.
Of course, you as well. And he'll just light kiss on the knuckles. Usual English charm.
And, you know, she, like you, she dates back to a time that was a little more common. Actually, she's a bit older than you, but she definitely dates back to a time that was a bit more common.
Yeah. He's one of the younger Ancilla, but he's probably one of the older vampires in the city.
Outside of like the Primogen and stuff, yeah, probably. I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 more
Yeah.
right around your age. I don't think Maeve is much younger than you.
No, not much younger than him.
I think Maeve is... You're 12th gen, I believe, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he's got about maybe 20-something years on you.
Yeah, I
20
think that's what we came up with was a decade.
How old is Maeve?
I was thinking it was a decade or 2.
True age 101.
Yeah, so he's got some... Yeah, he's 127 true age.
All right, so a couple decades. Not a
So,
whole
yeah.
lot in vampire years.
Yeah, it's not.
All right, so we're
Yeah.
going to wrap here. Unless anybody's got some last minute something they wanted to bring up. Or...
Nah, he's... I
Oh,
mean,
you guys
Samuel-
can plot.
yeah, Samuel's gonna go back to his haven and double check everything.
Jolene would send a message to Eddie just to see if they'd heard anything from, was it Anne?
And yes, they have not.
Okay.
He'd have just called, but he figured you were at work, and there's other people in the area that he could just send by to talk to you, kind of on the down low.
Yeah. She just says she'll get in touch with him tomorrow evening.
Okay. So what we're going to do now? Next session, we are going to jump ahead a month.
Woo.
So we'll go from the beginning of February here, and we will jump to the early part of March. I'll say about a month. I'll have to check and see exactly what the date will be. But so you get, was it 2 or 3 experience that we had decided on our kind of the weekly basis?
3.
Okay, so
You can do it 3.
you get 3 XP for the night, and I believe we were going to give you 8 for the downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and give yourself basically 11 for the night.
Okay.
Awesome.
So in the coming week, be thinking of what your character will be doing, kind of throughout that time. If there's any longer term projects that you're working on, like I know Jolene was kind of interested in getting into thin blood alchemy a little bit.
Yeah. During the time skip, she would hunt someone down for that.
And you got several thin bloods in your domain, under the protection of your domain at the moment, or in your domain under the protection of your coterie. So you could probably find somebody that at least teach you the basics. We'll cover a little bit more of, Decca and Eric can kind of decide how the meeting with Lynn goes. She will still be in town.
Mm-hmm.
Probably getting ready to move on by the time we come back.
Yeah. It'd be cordial, but once he gets Blackjack alone, there's going to be a very, very long talk about what you do not do.
So,
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. No, fuck that. I'm angry.
And disappointed.
Let me get my shotgun with fire rounds in it.
Yeah.
On the back porch, just.
No, he's got the poker face. Like it's something that I've kind of studied a little bit. Him being a soldier, he has 2 personas. There's the normal Samuel, and then there's the warrior Samuel.
Show me your war face. War face!
Basically, but not quite that. But it's just the stone cold Tremere is the warrior Samuel. And that's what Blackjack is going to be meeting for that long talk.
Some people are surprised when they meet Samuel because he seems so warm and kind of human.
Mm-hmm.
But if they run into this other persona, they go, "That's what I expect out of a Tremere."
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
That is his. I'm about to go to battle.
And of course, if Maeve or Alexander have any kind of long-term projects they want to start up, or something they want to do in that downtime, you know.
Oh, it was because with all the points now, she's gonna finally shape-shift into, I think,
2 more
an animal now, and then probably upgrade her coterie. I mean, not her coterie, her haven.
Okay.
Into something a little bigger.
You know, just put some thought into it during the week, and kind of, when we get together next session, have picked out kind of what went down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not going to be any major werewolf attacks on you guys, at least.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. You know, it's going to be a relatively quiet month.
Actually, that is a thing. Who would ask Samuel to put in lupine wards?
If I knew that he had the capability, Blackjack would.
Yeah, but you're on his shit list at the moment, so.
Yeah.
No, you can fight werewolves the old-fashioned way.
I mean, I will. I just don't wanna.
You're on your own with your next werewolf fight.
I'll say he knows he's on Samuel's shit list for that.
But yes, if you let it be generally known that you can do that, you will definitely have people. You know, some of the, especially the movers and shakers, are all going to want safe houses warded. A lot of them may not get you to ward their havens, because then you know where their havens are.
Yep.
The sheriff would definitely get some sort of safe house up in the northern part of the city. You know, so he could station people up there, or if his people started to get, if he had people up there that started to get overrun, they'd have somewhere they could fall back to, sort of thing.
So he'd definitely offer it to the sheriff, at least.
Yeah, it's definitely something you could do to get yourself in good. Might even be something you could offer Marcy.
Actually, yeah, that could be something he'd offer.
That could be the exchange.
Yeah,
unless he could, if you come up with something fancier.
He will. He doesn't really have much of anything that as fancy as a Toreador might like.
Yeah, you gotta wait to think about it.
Nope, I know what he'd do. I know exactly what he would do.
All right, we'll find out what that is next week. Want to thank everybody that showed up and watched. You may be quiet, but we're still very glad you're here.
We are appreciative of y'all.
Let's see. Show up tomorrow night. I believe we're having Monster of the Week, Eyes of the Fallen.
Yes. Jason.
Yes. Thursday should be Descend into Avernus. Let's see. That's
it for the week.
Yeah, that's it for the
week.
Are you streaming? Over on the Nerd Eternal Network, I will be streaming. Crossing my fingers. Icons is coming Sunday. I say crossing my fingers. The last 2 sessions I've had 2 different people who couldn't make it.
Tabletop, am I right, guys?
Yeah. And then, over there on Mondays and Tuesdays, again, if I can get the stuff to work, I stream Fallout 76 on Mondays and Elder Scrolls Online on Tuesdays. Didn't work out so well yesterday. The Twitch Studios thing just crapped out on me. But was working today, and I didn't make any adjustments, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, and then back on, but on Monday, here at Dire Bear, you'll have the Escorts, which is Cap's D&D 5th edition game.
Mm-hmm. We'll be here on Tuesday.
I think that's the entire list of stuff I needed to go through. So,
yes. Again,
I've been your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Decca playing Blackjack, Sarah playing Jolene, Duba playing Alexander, Eric playing Samuel, and Rap playing Maeve. And we will see you next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.